Make Hilda baci's signature coconut rice in Somakorra way with me. First of all, I'll be preparing the ingredients I'll be using to make the coconut rice, and for me to get that rough blend consistency. Since I don't have food processor, I use my manual blender to blend my habanero pepper and purple onions. And for protein, I'm using cow skin, aka pomo. I season only with my blended pepper and onions, salt, and 2 seasoning. I imported the little water I use in raising my blender. I mixed covered everything and covered to steam. The normal me before would have imported thyme, curry, ginger and garlic powder and gbogbo in steaming that meat. But I am not a Hilda Baci Academy student, so I cook with straightforward but the best recipe. While my protein was parboiling, I came down here to prep my coconut milk. After breaking my fresh coconut, I cut it into tiny shape, wash and blend to small. Then I sieved the juice and imported it back into the plate and imported a little more water and sieve it out again. Just to make sure that I've extracted all the juice. After that, I set my coconut milk aside and it's now time for me to prep the rice I'll be cooking for the day, and I'll be making 4 cups of rice. I actually use basmati rice for this recipe, but I'm using exactly the type of rice I have at home. Because this rice doesn't need to be parboiled, I have to wash it multiple times with salt and then I imported hot water in it and allowed it to soak for like 1 minute before sieving it out, because this rice is actually very high in starch. I really don't want to eat any rice with excess starch, right? Yes, baby, I know you know. It's time for me to prepare the ingredients for the actual cooking, and because I don't want this food to be very peppery, I'll be using chili pepper in the place of habanero pepper. And I also exported all the seed. That is how much I don't want pepper in this because food. My children is the major consumer and the judge of this food, so we don't want to get them offended. After that, I used my hand to slice my onions to a very tiny shape, and at this point in time, my protein was done. I unfired it and exported the protein from the pot because we'll be using the pot for the actual cooking. Can you imagine that this is actually the point I remember that I've not even prepared my ginger and garlic paste? It's not completely my fault because on normal notes, I don't usually use fresh ginger and garlic to cook, but being a University Academy student has really upgraded my mentality. I use my manual blender to blend it, but because it not give me that smooth consistency, I have to use my mortar to finish it. It's not time for the actual cooking, so I imported my vegetable oil first. This was the time where University imported her coconut flavor first before importing the pepper mix. But because I don't have coconut flavor, I imported my pepper mix directly before importing my onions and seasoning with seasoning cube and salt. After that, I imported my already washed rice and mixed covered everything together to incorporate. I fried it a little bit before importing my first interruption, which is pala fish. I could have imported this pala fish at the end of the cooking. But the pala fish is a fried and a very dried one, so I wanted to cook together with the rice. So I could get salt because of my children. You know my children are the judge of this food, so we don't really want to get them angry. After that, I imported my protein and the stock and then the coconut milk. Mixed up everything and tested and adjusted with only salt. Then I covered the pot with the foil because I want to trap as much heat as possible. I allowed this rice to cook for about 15 minutes before I came back to do what Hilda Baci used to call lift and turn. That is the process of bringing what is down up and bringing the things that is up down to cook well. Then I covered it again for final cooking, and at this point in time, this rice was done and extremely delicious. And not be because I make cook, I've actually made coconut rice many times in the past, but none taste this good. You can actually import any much more interruption you want before dishing this food, but for me, the proteins I use so far is more than enough. We'll be pairing this with fried plantain, and I imported more than enough for my kids because I know they'll definitely love it. Now, tell me if this is a eat or pass for you, and if you'll be trying this recipe or none. And thank you so much for watching.